Fear is fake, but it feels real. Fear feels real. Your heart beats faster. Your mind starts racing. Your body tightens. Everything inside you says stop. But here's the truth. Fear is not real danger. It's a signal, a reaction, a prediction. Your brain is trying to protect you from something that hasn't even happened yet. And most of the time, that thing never happens. But your body reacts as if it's already real. That's fear. Now think about this. How many times did you stop yourself because of fear? You didn't speak, you didn't try, you didn't take the chance. Not because you couldn't, but because you felt afraid. And that feeling controlled your action. Now here's the problem. You trust that feeling. You believe it. You treat it like truth. But it's not truth. It's just your brain guessing, trying to predict the future, trying to keep you safe. But safety is not growth. And if you always choose safety, you will always stay the same. Now here's something powerful. Fear is strongest right before action, not after. Before you speak, before you start, before you take the risk. That's when it hits. Because your brain sees uncertainty and labels it as danger. Now imagine this. You want to do something. Your mind says, what if you fail? What if you look stupid? What will people think? And suddenly, you stop. You hesitate. You go back. That's fear winning. Now here's the truth. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. Because fearless people still feel fear. They just don't obey it. They move anyway. Now let's go deeper. Your brain works on survival patterns. Anything unfamiliar feels risky, and anything risky feels dangerous. So your brain creates fear to stop you. But here's the reality. Most of the things you fear are not dangerous. They are uncomfortable. There's a difference. Danger is real. Discomfort is growth. But your brain treats both the same, and that's why you avoid. Now think about this. If you avoid something once, it feels easier. If you avoid it again, it becomes a habit. And over time, that fear grows, stronger, bigger, more powerful. Because avoidance feeds fear. Now here's the shift. Face it, even a little, because facing fear weakens it. Avoiding fear strengthens it. Now imagine this. You are afraid to speak, but you speak anyway. Your voice shakes, you feel uncomfortable, but you do it, and nothing bad happens. That experience changes your brain, because now your brain learns this is safe, and the next time, fear is smaller. Now imagine repeating that daily, step by step. That's how confidence is built, not by thinking, by doing. Now here's something important. Confidence is not instant. It's built through repetition, through small wins, through experience. Now think about your life. Where do you feel fear? That's where your growth is, because fear points to the next level. The thing you are avoiding is the thing you need to face. Now imagine this version of you. You don't run from fear. You move towards it. You act. You try. You grow. That version is powerful, because now fear does not control you. Now here's the deeper truth. Fear is not your enemy. It's your guide. It shows you where you need to grow, where you need to act, where you need to level up. Now imagine this. Instead of avoiding fear, you use it, you follow it, you act on it. That changes everything. Now here's the final realization. Fear will always exist, but it doesn't have to control you, because control comes from action, not thinking. So from this moment, stop waiting to feel confident and start acting anyway, because that's how confidence is built. Fear is fake, but it feels real. Now let's make this real, because confidence is not random. It's built systematically, step by step, through action, not theory. So here's your system, a 7-day reset to break fear and build confidence. Not perfectly, but practically. Now understand this, you will still feel fear. That's normal. But this system will teach you how to act anyway. That's the goal. Now let's begin. Day 1, awareness. You cannot fix what you don't see. So your job today is to observe your fear. Not fight it, not avoid it, just notice it. When do you feel it? What triggers it? What thoughts appear? Write it down, because awareness is the first step of control. Now day 2, challenge your thoughts. Fear creates stories, negative ones. What if I fail? What if they judge me? Now question it. Is it true or just a possibility? Most of the time, it's imagination, not reality. So don't accept every thought. Challenge it, because your thoughts are not facts. Now day 3, take small action. This is where change begins. Not big action, small. Something uncomfortable, but doable. If you're afraid to speak, say 1 sentence. If you're afraid to start, do 5 minutes. That's it, because action breaks fear. Now day 4, repeat the action. Once is not enough. You must repeat, because repetition rewires your brain. So do it again and again, even if it feels uncomfortable, because that discomfort is growth. Now day 5, increase the challenge. Now go slightly bigger, not extreme, just a little more. If you spoke once, speak twice. If you worked 5 minutes, work 10, because progress builds confidence. Now day 6, control your body. Fear is physical. Your breathing changes, your posture tightens, so control it. Slow your breath, stand straight, relax your body, because when your body is calm, your mind follows. Now day 7, act without thinking. This is powerful. Stop overanalyzing, stop waiting, just act immediately, because thinking creates fear. Action destroys it. Now imagine this. You follow this system, day by day, step by step. What happens? Your brain changes. Fear becomes smaller. Confidence becomes stronger. Now here's something important. This is not a one-time process. You repeat it again and again, because confidence is a habit. Now let's go deeper. You must stop waiting to feel ready, because readiness is a myth. No one feels ready. They act, and then they grow. Now imagine this version of you. You don't wait. You don't hesitate. You act, even when you feel fear. That version is powerful, because now fear has no control. Now here's the truth. Confidence is not something you find. It's something you build through action, through repetition, through facing fear. Now think about your life. What would change if you stopped avoiding fear? Everything. Your growth, your opportunities, your confidence. Now here's the final shift. Stop trying to remove fear. Start acting with it. Because fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to stop you. Now imagine this. You feel fear, but you move anyway. You act anyway. You grow anyway. That's confidence, and that's how you build it. Fear is fake, but it feels real. Let's go deeper. Because fear is not just a feeling, it's a pattern, a subconscious pattern running in the background, controlling your actions without your awareness. And until you understand that, you will keep repeating it. Now here's the truth. Fear is learned, not born. You were not born afraid to speak. You were not born afraid to fail. You learned it through experiences, through moments, through repetition. Now let's break it down. Something happened in your past, maybe small, maybe big, but emotional, and your brain recorded it as danger. Now every time you face something similar, your brain reacts automatically with fear, even if the situation is not dangerous. That's subconscious programming. Now imagine this. You failed once. Your brain stores it. Next time you try, fear appears. Not because failure will happen, but because it happened before. Now here's the problem. Your brain does not update automatically. It keeps using old data, old experiences, old fears, and that keeps you stuck. Now here's the shift. You must update your brain through new experiences, because thinking is not enough. You need proof, real proof. Now imagine this. You face your fear. You act, and nothing bad happens. That experience rewrites your brain. Now your brain learns this is safe, and fear decreases. Now imagine repeating that again and again. That's reprogramming. Now let's go deeper. Your identity plays a huge role because you act based on who you believe you are. If you believe, I am not confident, you will act that way, even if you try not to, because your identity drives your behavior. Now here's the truth. Confidence is not something you have, it's something you become through identity. Now let's shift it. Stop saying, I want to be confident. Start saying, I am someone who takes action. I am someone who faces fear. I am someone who grows. Because identity creates behavior, and behavior reinforces identity. Now imagine this. You act confidently, even if you don't feel it. That action builds identity, and over time, it becomes natural. Now here's something powerful. Your brain believes what you repeat, not what is true. So if you repeat, I'm not confident, your brain accepts it. But if you repeat, I'm improving, your brain updates. Now let's talk about control, because fear feels uncontrollable, but it's not. It's predictable. It follows patterns, triggers, thoughts, reactions. And once you see the pattern, you can control it. Now imagine this. You feel fear. Instead of reacting, you observe it. You don't follow it. You don't build it. You just watch. That creates distance, and distance creates control. Now here's something deeper. Fear grows with attention. The more you think about it, the bigger it becomes. The more you avoid it, the stronger it becomes. But if you ignore it and act, it shrinks. Now imagine this version of you. You don't feed fear. You don't overthink it. You act. You move. You grow. That version is powerful because now fear has no fuel. Now let's talk about emotional memory. Your brain remembers emotional moments, strong ones, and uses them as reference. So create new ones, positive ones, confident ones, because your brain updates through experience. Now imagine this. You take action. You succeed, even in a small way. You feel good. That emotion gets stored. And now your brain learns, I can do this. Now repeat that daily. That builds confidence. Now here's the deeper truth. You don't remove fear. You outgrow it by becoming stronger, by taking action, by building identity. Now think about your life. What are you avoiding? That's where your growth is. That's where your next level is. Now imagine facing it, taking action, moving forward. That changes everything. Fear is fake, but it feels real. There is a moment right before fear takes over. A small moment, almost invisible, but it decides everything. A trigger happens, a situation, a thought, and instantly your body reacts. Your heart beats faster, your breathing changes, your mind starts racing, and before you realize, fear is in control. Now here's the truth. That moment is where power exists. Not after, not when you're already overwhelmed. Right there, at the start. Because once fear grows, it becomes harder to control. So your goal is simple. Catch it early. Control it early. Now let's go deeper. Fear is not just mental, it's physical. Your body reacts first, before your thoughts. That's why it feels so real, so intense, because your body believes it, even when your mind doesn't. Now here's the shift. Control your body to control your mind. Slow your breathing, relax your muscles, stand still, because when your body calms down, your mind follows. Now imagine this. You feel fear. Instead of reacting, you pause, you breathe slowly, you stay still, and suddenly the intensity drops. That's control. Now let's talk about emotional dominance, because fearless does not mean no fear. It means control over fear. You feel it, but you don't obey it. You don't run. You don't stop. You act anyway. Now here's something powerful. You must stop reacting instantly, because reaction is automatic, response is controlled, and control is everything. Now, imagine this. You feel fear. Instead of reacting, you choose your action. That's mastery. Now let's go deeper. Your thoughts amplify fear. What if this goes wrong? What if I fail? And your brain builds scenarios, worst-case outcomes. That's imagination, not reality. But your body reacts to it. So stop feeding it. Don't follow every thought. Observe it. Let it pass. Now here's something important. Thoughts are temporary. They come, they go, but your action creates your life. So focus on action, not thought. Now imagine this version of you. You feel fear, but you stay calm. You don't panic. You don't overthink. You act. That version is powerful because now fear has no control. Now let's talk about focus. Fear grows when your mind is scattered, jumping between possibilities, uncertainty, doubt. But focus eliminates that, because when you focus on one action, your mind becomes clear. Now imagine this. Instead of thinking about everything, you focus on one step, and you do it. That reduces fear. Now here's something deeper. You must train your mind daily, because control is a skill, not a talent. You practice it again and again until it becomes natural. Now imagine this. Every time you feel fear, you control your breathing, you observe your thoughts, you act anyway. That repetition builds mastery. Now here's the truth. You will still feel fear. That doesn't change. But your response changes, and that's what matters. Now imagine your future. You face challenges, you feel fear, but you stay calm. You act, you move forward. That version is unstoppable because nothing can stop you. Now here's the final shift. Stop trying to eliminate fear. Start controlling it, because fear will always exist, but control is your choice, and once you master that, you master your life. Fear is fake,
but it feels real. At some point, you have to stop waiting to feel confident and start becoming it. Because confidence is not something you find, it's something you build through action, through repetition, through facing fear. Now here's the truth. You will never feel ready. You will never feel fully confident. There will always be doubt, always uncertainty, always fear. And if you wait for it to disappear, you will wait forever. Now think about this. Every confident person you see felt fear, felt doubt, felt uncertainty, but they acted anyway. And that's the difference. Not talent, not luck, action. Now here's something powerful. Confidence is built in moments, small moments, when you choose action instead of fear, when you choose growth instead of comfort, when you choose movement instead of hesitation. Those moments shape your identity. Now imagine this. You feel fear. You still act. That moment builds confidence. Now repeat that again and again. That creates transformation. Now here's the deeper truth. You don't become fearless. You become stronger than your fear. Because fear will always exist, but it becomes smaller, weaker, less powerful as you grow. Now let's be real. There will be days you don't feel confident, days you doubt yourself, days you want to quit. That's normal. That's part of the process. But what matters is you don't stop. You don't go back. You keep moving. Now imagine this version of you. You don't run from fear. You don't avoid discomfort. You face it. You act. You grow. That version is powerful because now nothing can hold you back. Now here's something important. Confidence is not about winning, it's about trying. Because every time you try, you learn, you grow, you improve, and that builds belief. Now think about your life. What are you avoiding right now? That's where your confidence is. That's where your growth is. That's where your next level is. Now imagine facing it, taking action, moving forward. That changes everything. Now here's the final shift. Stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what if I grow? Because failure is not the end. It's feedback, it's learning, it's progress. Now imagine this. You take action, you fail, but you learn, you adjust, you improve. That's growth. Now repeat that daily. That builds confidence. Now here's the final truth. You are not weak. You are not incapable. You are just untrained. And confidence is a skill. You build it through action, through repetition, through courage. Now imagine your future. You walk into situations, you feel fear, but you stay calm. You act, you move forward. That version is unstoppable because nothing controls you. Now here's the final decision. From this moment, stop waiting, stop doubting, stop holding yourself back, and start doing one thing. Act. Even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, because imperfect action builds confidence. Perfect thinking builds nothing. Now imagine this. You take one step, then another, and slowly you become someone different, stronger, braver, more confident. Not because fear disappeared, but because you didn't stop. Now here's the final realization. Fear is fake, but action is real, and your life is built on what is real. So choose action every time, no matter what.